Well, good morning once again. Hopefully this works this time. Again, my internet's been just garbage for the past couple weeks here, and I'm supposed to have someone come out take a look at it, but I'm kind of lazy and just really haven't been having them come take a look at it. Anyways, it's all a bunch of BS anyways. Seriously, what are they going to do? Come take a look at it and flip a couple things on my modem, be like, oh, your service is back to normal. It'll run good for the first week, and then it's going to slow down again, and then blah, blah, blah. Again, I know the games are playing. So hopefully the stream stays up, and hopefully everything is good. Is there a way to buy the options course by itself if I buy 1 month? No, Andy. So there isn't right now. The only option that we have available, yeah. So the Elites program is solely done on a month-to-month basis because it's a chat room, and then included in that chat room, we do have archived videos you can watch. One day we are probably going to plan on breaking it apart in two, so there's just an options course and then like the chat version. So that's probably something that'll happen in the future. All right, so good morning to everyone. As I was stating before, the internet started shitting on me. We have pretty much a corrective move happening in the market. So if you guys are looking at your positions and they're down, or you guys are looking at AMD or Facebook or Google, they're all down, right? So I mean, we don't even have to say that anymore, but pretty much all stocks are going to be down. Why are they all down? They're all down because the market's down, okay? Over the past couple days, the market's gotten smoked. That's what happened in the market. 2 days of bearish movement so far has led stocks into some pretty big sell-offs, okay? Brad, pretty much all I mean, class action lawsuit. I mean, we hear about class action lawsuits all the time for investors, but at the end of the day, it's just investors being idiots, right? So, whenever I hear a class action lawsuit, it's because the stock went down. The only thing I can think of is it's pretty much just a means of a sore loser, right? The lawyers are sore losers. They come in and they're greedy pieces of shit, and they think they can make a bunch of money out these class action lawsuits. And then you got these investors who go, "Oh, well, I didn't do my job correctly. I didn't research what it was I was throwing money at, and now that I've lost money, I'm gonna try and make some back." So it's a really just a sore loser process, in my opinion. Sure, there can be legitimate class action lawsuits where a company is misleading investors, but marijuana's been on the street since like Nam, right? Kids have been getting high on it for days. It's already been in the medical field for forever. So we already know all of the pretty much the beneficiary or the benefits of marijuana, what it's been for us, what it does for us, who uses it. So I mean, it's not like an unknown industry or anything. So everybody investing in it knew exactly what they were doing, and they have nobody else to blame but themselves for any losses. That's the way I see it on that set. Okay. Now, on to some more important talk. So yeah, markets are down. Things are going bearish. So, right, what are you going to do today? Are you going to buy stocks? Probably not. You're probably going to look to short them. That's what majority of the market's doing. We're kind of all looking at things short bias. Am I going to short today? Maybe. It depends, because if you look at everything, like look at AMD this morning, AMD has already gotten rocked, right? So I don't really want to short this at the low. All right, let's take a look at Netflix, right? Netflix is not really down too much pre-market. Yesterday it got rocked. Do I want to short this? Maybe. That one hasn't taken off too much. All right, take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia, I believe, is down quite a bit this morning, right? Nvidia's gotten smoked this morning. Do I want to short that? Maybe. So that's really where I'm at, and where I think a lot of people are going to be at this morning is you have to differentiate between which stocks actually look decent to short and which ones don't, meaning which ones have already been kind of oversold too much or already taken too big of a hit and are most likely going to see like a squeeze or are more susceptible to seeing a squeeze. So right now the whole market's thinking short on everything, and I'm really not. I'm just kind of on standby because what we're seeing is a nice correction, which is going to lead us into great opportunities for dip buying stocks. So if everybody's thinking short bias today, I'm going to want to start thinking long bias or long bias in the next couple days, doing the opposite of what majority of the market's going to be doing. And they're all going to be thinking sell, 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 short, 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 which is true. And you can make money doing that. But the bigger play is going to come in the next couple days, a couple weeks when the market actually recovers and starts to bounce, or if it does recover, right? A lot of these stocks are going to be at good sell points, okay? So it's pretty straightforward. There's really no penny stocks that are really moving around today that at least I saw. So I'm not going to be focusing on any penny stocks. The only thing I'm focusing on is large cap stocks ranging from all your chips to tech, looking at them short bias and watching them long bias, looking at them both ways, because yesterday they got rocked. Today they've already been rocked. If they find some sort of support today, they can have really nice bounces because a lot of people are involved in short selling today. So today is going to be an interesting day because we could see extreme volatility with the way the market's dropped already. You can see extreme bouncing with the way the market's dropped. So today I think should be a pretty fun day. And I'm not going to jump the gun on any of my trades. Pretty much just going to stay patient and wait to see what the market wants us to do. Because that's solely what today is all about. Today is not finding the hottest stock to trade because everything's pretty hot right now. They're all moving. Today's about today's about watching how the market moves in relation to all the stocks you're trading. Are your stocks having divergences against the market? Are they following exactly like the market, right? Does the market want to hold? Let me show you here. Does the market want to hold the 209 dip area right here? Right, we're right at this level. Does it want to hold, or do we want to break through? If we want to break through, let's remain bearish on stocks. If we want to hold and start bouncing, we need to start thinking bullish on stocks today. So that's kind of really the play. I mean, if I could be straightforward about everything that I'm doing today, it's really actually simple. If the markets are falling below 309 aggressively, I'll be short bias on everything. If the markets are staying above 309, all right, I would start looking for long bias bounces on stocks today. All right, that's it. That is literally my analysis for every single stock today. If I'm gonna trade today, I'm gonna be short bias on everything below 309. If the market stays above 309, starts bouncing, I'll start being long bias. Okay. Apple's bearish, same thing. If the market's falling below 309 today, I'd be short bias on Apple. If the market starts to bounce over 309, I'd be bullish on Apple. At least on the intraday time framing and trading, day trading. Okay. I seen PBYI at some point yesterday. I looked at it briefly. I mean, yeah, it could, but well, let's see what kind of setup there was. So it had a breakout setup. So yesterday was its big day. You could look for continuation today, but the market's been bearish and this is on a big pullback. So yeah, what you would typically do is you typically follow it for continuation, but with how bearish the market is and the fact that this has already gotten up towards a pretty decent top, I really wouldn't expect too much of a continuation move out of that stock today. My scanners picked up no good small cap runners. Again, right, so let me take a second to coach here, okay, for the penny stock lovers. We're all at the end of the day, I mean, most of everyone's a penny stock lover, right? It's just on a good one. So when you said no, you don't think will be any small cap runners. Nope, I don't. So what you have to understand about small cap is only good when large cap doesn't draw all the attention, right? That's just it. Small cap is good only when large cap isn't drawing all the attention. Okay? Kind of like in a sports game. Most people are going to tune in to the two best teams in the NCAA or the NFL when they're playing a football game. If there's an underdog on TV at the same time, the underdog teams will get pushed to the side and only watched after the main game is over. Usually. For a lot of people. Same thing in the stock market. When the large cap stocks are moving like crazy and the stock market is going through really bearish moments or 2-day crashes, all the attention is on big stocks, value stocks, things that are going on sale. A lot of attention gets taken away from the small cap market. The likelihood you see small caps running on days like this where the markets are really aggressive, bearish down, probably not going to happen. So you have to be mindful of what it is you are trading, right? And penny stocks are not good to trade when the attention is on the big stocks or the overall markets for the day. And they're only good in the winter. So we're in the winter, but we're having days where all the attention's on the large cap. Not going to see as much volatility and aggressive trading into the small cap. Thoughts on V-Ray? Yeah, I'll take a look real quick. So it had pretty much just a one-day pump. No, it's been trailing up pretty nice. Good run yesterday. Got over the 50 EMA. Had a nice pop up into the 5s. Or no, that's this morning. That's right. I did see this morning. Yeah, so I seen this earlier. This has potential. I will say that. This does have potential for a decent day. And the reason being is it's just entered into the gap fill zone. So yeah, this is the one penny stock I looked at earlier. Didn't like the formation of it, so I kind of put it on a side watch and then forgot about it. So yeah, V-Ray entered into the gap fill area, but I will say that still, this chart pattern doesn't really look all that great to me. I don't like the big spike up, the big drop down, the random spike up, the big drop down. So what this is just telling me is people are uncertain about these high prices of 480 so far. That's all it is. So this is still early in formation. I wouldn't give it the go-ahead yet, but this is worth watching for market open. The best thing that it has going for it right now is that it entered into this big gap fill, which is up to 649. So in reality, if this wanted to do a gap fill move today, you have about a $2 per share that you could see V-Ray move to the upside before hitting resistance. So again, like I said, still early in its formation. I mean, again, you had a top, new top with the divergence because it was just a bullshit top, trail off. I mean, like I said, it's still holding support though pre-market. That's good. So ideally, if you wanted to remain bullish on V-Ray, the price of the stock needs to stay above 439 going into market open. If it can't stay over 439, then I would not remain bullish on that stock. I was thinking the SPY needed to hold like 302. Yeah, like if you want to argue like a major correction, yeah, I mean, it's possible we see like a major correction, not like just today, but in general. And we could see the SPY down to like 302, 303, but it would, to me, it would have to hold. And I could see maybe you're calling 301. No, well, maybe like that dip 301 area, but yeah, like that is where the most structured top is, so it'd have to hold over 302 or else we'd see some more bearish movement. Anyways. What's the strongest support for Amazon? Anything that has a very identifiable structure will be stronger support. So like if you're looking at Amazon. Oh, would you just load already? Thank you. Yeah, your support was, and still, yeah, I would say your support is 1670, but that's weaker now because it's already been tested once, so it's becoming weaker. So your new supports. If this 1670 breaks, then you'd be looking at like 1600 as your level to pay attention to. But as I said, we already tested it once here. We bounced on it once there. We even came down and almost tested, shied. Now we're rolling over again. So if the markets get really bearish and this comes down a lot more, you'd have support off of this level. In the shorter time frame, your support's going to be off like 1739 to 1729. So in the short term, 1739, 1729. Midterm, you'd be at like 1670. Something like that. Yeah, so I mean, I'm down a little bit today too because we had our Twitter swing trade open and everything was going swell. Everything was actually going really well. But then, of course, you get the market downturn, you go into a correction, and you get smoked. It's just what happens. So we got into our Twitter swing trade over the 30-30. We had like 3 days of good movement, and then the markets roll over and tanked everything. And now our swing trade's in the red, and so it's like, ugh. And it's like you don't really want to cut the loss because you know the only reason it's really going down is because the market's going down. So that's really just it. So all you can do for really at this point is just hope it stays above your stop levels and then hope that the markets bounce a little bit today so you can at least stay in the trade for maybe another day. But what's going to happen is I'll most likely get taken out of this trade, take a loss of about 400, maybe $500. And then like 3 weeks later, it's going to do exactly what I want. So we'll see. No, market buy, market sell normally work fine. Yeah, you could occasionally run into issues where there's lags in your order, but I mean that's just happens with any broker for the most part. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't totally decided what I plan to do with Twitter just yet. Maybe I'll hold. I probably should just hold it. Anyways, so most of the stuff we're looking at is bearish today. And so like I said, I can't really give too much more because again, for me, on a day like this where you wake up and the market's down another couple points, everything's kind of bearish, I'm not really gung-ho about just trying to rip in a trade or jump in on trade. So I mean, like for today, I mean, like I said, even yesterday, I didn't trade very well yesterday. I made money, but I didn't trade well. Friday, I think, no, Friday didn't trade. Thursday, excuse me. Or was it not Thursday? It was Wednesday, excuse me. Wednesday, I think Wednesday I didn't trade very well either. I still made money. So I've been seeing some less consistent days lately in terms of how well I've been trading. But still making money. So making money is good, but if you do it poorly, you shouldn't be happy, right? It's like winning the Super Bowl after the ref calls a holding penalty. It's like, meh, it's kind of a shitty win, you know? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like there's ways of winning proudly and ways of winning shitty. And winning a football game because the ref calls a holding penalty would be a shitty way to win a football game. I mean, it's a win, but not good. So, and that's the way I was feeling about my trade in the past couple days. So today, I already told myself I'm going to try and at least take it a little bit slower, a little bit more patient, maybe even decrease my share size a little bit. Just aim for a smaller win. Keep things calm. Market's down like crazy. So again, I'm not going to be jumping into rip trades. It's pretty much a day where I watch the market, try to get a feel for how the market wants to trade. And if I feel that the market wants to continue its bearish moves, then I'll have to remain bearish on stocks, right? And if I get a feeling that the markets are wanting to pick up and start bouncing, then I'll have my bias go to long today. And that's pretty much it. Have I done AMD yet? I've done every stock in the market for the most part, but because it's really simple. The SPY is the only thing you're watching today. So again, AMD has support. This is AMD's support level from 37 to 35. That is AMD's current support level. So if you're considering of buying, you'd at least want to be buying AMD as it approaches 37, gets through 37 or into the 35 area. Until then, you probably are going to want to remain short bias unless the market starts to bounce. So again, let me rephrase this. For every single large cap or big stock that you're watching today, what you're going to want to do with any of those stocks, if you're planning on day trading them, is watch the stock market, whether that be the Dow Jones, watch the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, or the SPY, whichever stock your stock closely relates to the most, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, S&P 500. And if you've determined that the market wants to be bullish on the day, your best bet is to follow your stock bullish And if you've come to determine that this market wants to be bearish, your best bet is following the market bearish. So I've really just gave you the game plan for every single stock in the market today without having to look at them. Because when the markets are moving bearish, they all do the same thing for the most part. Okay. Roku's a little bit different because Roku is actually up this morning when the markets were down, and it's still up. So this is something that's different. This is a stock that's not moving the same as the market. Look at the market. Market's down, Roku up. That isn't normal, right? This is a stock where it's doing something opposite of the market. So we don't want to go say, hey, follow the market and whatever the SPY does, do with Roku, because Roku's already doing something different. It's already not working that way. So Roku's pretty straightforward for me. Roku's had a couple days where it just got absolutely smoked. Right now, I would say be long bias more than short bias, just because we had that day, we had the gap down with that. Yeah, it's hard to say because it had such a big bounce before, so you're trying to play off history. For now, I'd at least be long bias, and the only way that I'd be long bias is down here off the low a day mark, or if it was breaking out over like 140, okay? But again, with the markets being extremely bearish, it's going to be hard to really get this to rip up, I believe. So again, if I wanted to trade Roku, I would want to be more long bias on it down at like 132. That's where I'd consider taking a long. In between there, I'm really not even, I don't really care what happens. Because what you're looking at is the start of, most likely the start of a consolidation move, which means the only way to play is off lows or off highs, right? If this thing's just going to chop up and down through a range, then you want to pick point bottoms and tops, right? Because it's not going to trend. Right, so you don't want to buy in the middle because you're just going to get chopped out constantly. So I would say in this situation, I'd be more long bias on Roku, but I don't expect it to have a ripping day. I would say down at like 132.50s if it gets there is where I would dip by. No, inverse stocks are great. I just didn't mention them. Yeah, pretty much you could look at any inverse stock today too. Yeah, so which there aren't any inverse stocks actually. They're inverse ETFs. So yeah, if you wanted to, that's completely fine too. I could run you guys through that as well. We got 2 minutes. So yeah, on days like this or days where the market's going bad, good thing to do for as a beginner is to look at things like UVXY. UVXY is a little bit cheaper than TVIX, and UVXY is a 3 times leverage ETF and not a 2 times. I could be wrong. It's been a while, but if you like to trade inverse ETFs or you're looking for something that's moving bullish today while the market's going bearish, then you're going to want to look at UVXY. UVXY is a $17 stock. Actually, it's an ETF, but it's $17. Whereas if you look at something like TVIX, TVIX was just $6, but then it went through a reverse split. So these are the two pretty much the main inverse related volatility ETFs that I would normally focus on in days like this where the market is really bearish. So again, if you want to trade anything bullishly today, you could keep an eye on TVIX or UVXY. Those are the two inverse ETFs that end up using bullish movements while the market's going down. Yep, so you could do that. That would probably say, I would say that is the best approach to the market today. Now that I'm actually kind of thinking about it, I would say for majority of you guys online, not majority, but for some at least, that don't short stocks, your best bet to making money today is probably just being long bias UVXY, at least for a little bit. Again, remember the market's already been smoked today, so you really need the market to continue to get its ass handed to itself if you're going to make money with UVXY or TVIX, okay? You only buy TVIX and UVXY if the markets are getting hammered. That's it, okay? Remember that. You only buy TVIX or UVXY if the markets are getting hammered. Why? Because TVIX and UVXY are a different beast that nobody understands. Even the people that think they understand it don't even understand what they are. And it leads me into having to explain it very often, which is they are volatility ETFs. That means they only work when the market is volatile. The market is generally only volatile when it's going down, and down aggressively. So if the markets are not going down, you don't trade it. And if they're not going down aggressively, you don't trade them, because UVXY and TVIX are like a little child. And that little child only pays attention and does what it's told when it's getting something that it wants. And TVIX and UVXY, being the little child they are, only pay attention and listen to one thing, and that's volatility. And without it, they don't do shit. Okay? They won't clean their room. They won't do their dishes. They won't take out the trash. They won't go up. They won't make you any money. They won't make your life any easier unless they have volatility. Okay? So, with that being said, it's 9 o'clock, 9:01. I'm going to have to get back to our private group. I appreciate all of you guys joining in with us here on this morning's stream. Again, keep your eyes on the volatility ETFs, TVIX, UVXY. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Cheers.